When I talk about estate planning, I don't mean just getting your estate documents in place, like your wills, your power of attorney, and your personal directives. Estate planning is much more than that. So today, I'm going to talk about the 7 areas that individuals should focus on to get their estate planning organized. So, number one is going to be reviewing your estate documents. So, your will, your power of attorney, and your personal directive. And if you don't have estate documents in place, you're going to want to meet up with a wills and estates lawyer to get these documents drafted. Now, if you do have them in place, you're going to want to review the executor and the trustees to make sure that these are the proper people. They're still healthy enough to be able to act for you if you were to pass away. Do you have alternates named as well if they're not around? Someone that can step up in their place. If you've got minor children, making sure that the guardians for your minor children are still the right people and making sure that those guardians that have been appointed are in fact aware that they're appointed. You're going to want to look at your estate distribution plan. So, if you drafted those documents many years ago when your children were younger, does it still make sense? Maybe now your children are a little bit more financially mature, so you could distribute those assets out at a different stage, or maybe the opposite is also true. Looking at your power of attorney and your personal directive, making sure you've got the right people appointed there and you have alternates as well. And lastly, just making sure that you know where the originals are and someone other than you knows where the originals are in case you're gone so that they can be located quickly. Number two is going to be a full insurance review. So looking at all of your insurance plans that you have in place, making sure that you have the right amount of insurance. Do you need more insurance perhaps, or could you get rid of a few of your policies because you no longer need them? How is the ownership of those policies structured? Is that still structured properly? For the beneficiaries, are they still properly named? Do you have contingent beneficiaries named? Does this line up with your current estate documents? And lastly, just making sure that you have all the original documents in an easy place where they're easily found if you were to pass away. Ideally, keeping them next to your estate documents is what we'd recommend. Number three is going to be looking at all the beneficiaries of your investment plans. So investment plans where you can actually name a beneficiary, like an RRSP or a tax-free savings account. So you're going to want to look at those. And for your RRSP, you're going to want to make sure that you have a beneficiary name that makes sense. If you have a spouse, that's likely going to be your spouse. If you're not married or you don't have a spouse, you're going to maybe have that be listed as your estate. If you have a tax-free savings account, you're probably going to want your spouse named as the successor owner of your tax-free savings account. And if you don't have a spouse, perhaps you name a beneficiary there and just making sure that it lines up with your estate documents and your actual wishes. Number four is reviewing your family trust. If you, in fact, have a family trust in place, you're going to want to make sure you understand when the 21st anniversary of that trust comes up from a tax perspective. Really important that you don't miss that date. You're going to want to review the trustees. Are they still the proper people? Do all of them still live in Canada? Are they healthy enough to be trustees for the long term? Should anybody be replaced as a trustee? Understanding who the beneficiaries of that trust are, where the trust deed is, the original trust deed, making sure that you have a copy of that for your records and keeping a copy of that with your will. And lastly, making sure that you have what's called a letter of wishes, because remember, the assets that are held in the trust aren't governed by your will. So that's where a letter of wishes is really important that will help your trustees understand how you, as the parents, would like the assets of the trust to be distributed in the event that you're no longer around. So a letter of wishes is really important. We see a lot of people that forget that part. Number five is going to be bank accounts. So making sure that you understand where all the bank accounts are. Are there any bank accounts that you can get rid of and just collapse because you no longer use them? Making sure that you and your spouse are both listed underneath the bank account that you use for all of your primary expenses is really important, because if it's only listed in one of your names and that individual passes away, suddenly the survivor is going to lose access to that account, and that can be a real problem. So just making sure that you've got everyone listed underneath the bank accounts with signing authority so those accounts can continue even if your spouse passes. Number six is crypto assets. So if you in fact have crypto assets, cryptocurrency of some kind, making sure that everything related to that is documented and kept someplace safe. And ideally, someone's going to be able to locate that information if you're no longer around. Lastly, number seven is going to be credit cards and lines of credit. So making sure that you understand all the different outstanding credit cards that you have, the lines of credit, and ideally getting rid of any credit cards and lines of credit that you no longer use. You want to try and make the estate administration process super easy for your executor when you pass away. Now, if you're looking for a estate planning checklist, you can simply in the comments write estate planning checklist. I'll send you a copy of that. If you want, send me a quick message. I'll happily send it over to you as well. Thanks.